Hi, I'm Patty Cassidy with Sony North America Professional Engineering. Welcome back to our video series covering the Vision Exchange collaboration system. Today, I'm going to be going over how Vision Exchange can support the entire workflow of an active learning classroom, and how student collaboration takes place at each pod station.
The term active learning can have various meanings. In a broad sense, as long as a student is engaged in proactive thinking, active learning can happen with even a single student. Here in this video, I'll refer to an active learning classroom as an environment designed to drive student-centered discussions in small groups, with an instructor guiding the discussion. Each small group is typically seated at a round or half-moon-shaped table, which is referred to as a pod station, with their own displays to share ideas over. Each participant may have a BYOD, or bring your own device, connected to the video routing system. The screen output from each of the pods is shared with the main unit or vice versa, so the instructor can present content from any of the small group discussions among the wider audience. With Vision Exchange, an active learning classroom can be created to allow students to connect their BYODs wirelessly, annotate over the content, and to allow the instructor to monitor pod activity through the intuitive thumbnail view. The system can handle up to 10 student pods with Vision Exchange Pod PC software at each of the stations. The Pod PC is expandable to allow for HDMI input using an optional third-party HDMI capture box, while up to 6 student BYODs can be connected over the Wi-Fi network at each pod. To maximize the effectiveness of student collaboration, a touch-capable display is recommended to be used as the pod display. Vision Exchange can support the active learning classroom from 3 points of view. Number 1, by supporting the active learning workflow. Number 2, with its intuitive user interface with no complex customized programming required. And number 3, by providing a flexible, scalable, and cost-effective solution.
Now let's take a closer look at how Vision Exchange can support the active learning workflow.
For this demonstration, I have one main unit connected to a touch display, and 3 pod PCs connected to the main unit. This diagram shows an example of how an active learning class proceeds. During the introduction phase of the class, using classroom PCs or tablets, the instructor presents the agenda, goals, and discussion topics of the day. The instructor can share the presentation to all of the classroom displays, including student pods, with a single click of the pod sharing button. During this phase, student pod displays are locked to the instructor's content, so the instructor can have the student's attention to the presentation. Next, students will collaborate as a group to discuss the assignment presented by the instructor. Vision Exchange's collaboration feature helps facilitate effective collaboration between students. With BYOD wireless mirroring, students can seamlessly share their findings and ideas from their devices. The annotation, whiteboard, and sticky note features make it easy for students to visualize and illustrate their ideas. On the instructor side, the instructor can monitor student discussion status with the pod display thumbnail shown on the main unit screen. If the instructor finds a group with limited activity, they can chime in to support the student's group work. The instructor can also share other groups' pod images to the entire class to give hints and stimulate the discussion. Once the group discussion is done, it's time for the student groups to present their work to the class. The instructor can select a pod and have the image broadcast to the entire classroom display. The instructor can then provide feedback using the annotation feature, and the student group can annotate back. Once the pod presentation is over, the class comes to an end. Each student can take a snapshot of their group discussion outcome with the instructor's feedback included. The snapshots can be saved to a USB drive or to the student's BYOD so that they can later submit the snapshots to the instructor.
As you've seen here, Vision Exchange can support the entire workflow of an active learning classroom. The second benefit of Vision Exchange in an active learning environment is its intuitive user interface.
With Vision Exchange, the main user interface is designed so that all of the available content are lined up in one place, including all of the pod content. The instructor can easily choose which content to share to the class using a simple drag and drop gesture. The pod sharing function, which is the core of the active learning system, can be accomplished with a touch of a single button. This interface is all pre-programmed, and unlike conventional audio-visual matrix switchers, it requires no custom programming.
Last but not least, the third benefit of using Vision Exchange for an active learning classroom is its flexibility, scalability, and cost-effectiveness.
This chart shows an active learning classroom with 6 student pods, with the pod sharing function achieved using a conventional matrix switcher. By using a matrix switcher with hardwire connections and a customized control user interface, the system can be quite expensive. With Vision Exchange, a similar matrix switching environment can be accomplished over an IP network. In case the class size grows and more pods are required, that can be accomplished by simply adding more pod PCs on the network with a minimal amount of programming, up to 10 pods. Vision Exchange provides a flexible, scalable, and cost-effective audio-visual system setup.
As you can see, Vision Exchange is the ideal platform to support the collaborative educational environment known as an active learning classroom. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.